call to order the regular city council meeting of December 1st, 2025. Would you all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Julie, if you can have roll call, please.
Councilmember Condi? Here. Garcia?
Here.
Councilmember Solorio? Here. Councilmember Weiss?
Here.
Councilmember White?
Present.
Vice Mayor Nielsen?
Here.
Mayor Pineda?
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ron, next item, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. Up first, we have Kim Moon, our city engineer, to introduce one of her new employees.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. I have this evening for you an introduction of our new traffic control inspector. We're very excited. I want to introduce Eddie Black. He brings several years of experience in traffic control industry from the private sector. He also previously worked with the city of Mesa. He's an Arizona native, enjoys hunting and spending time outdoors. Eddie officially starts with us. You started on the 24th? And he'll be our first full-time inspector focused solely on traffic control for construction projects and special events that impacts our city streets. He'll be involved in the entire process from reviewing plan sets for traffic control zones to permitting to field inspections of the traffic control barricades. So I just wanted to welcome Eddie to the team.
So, Eddie, Kim mentioned earlier in regards to hobbies, hunting. Mm-hmm. So tell us what part of the state, are you traveling out of state to hunt, or what sort of hunting are you doing?
Elk hunting up north near Payson.
Okay.
22 north.
Okay, we got a couple of hunters around here on staff, I'm sure would be happy to join you. And as far as traffic control is concerned, especially with construction related projects, just kind of give us a peek, if you will, behind the curtain as to what you're looking for, what some of the projects you're working on. And I know you just started, but what's kind of currently on the docket?
Just started, and I'm looking forward to getting into it and learning the Excella program. From there, I'm going to start contacting barricade companies to pick up their stragglers through the city. I think that's going to be huge. And then just going through and reviewing traffic control plans, and then going out and making sure it's set to the traffic control plan.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here and joining the Avondale team.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm here.
Thank you. Wow, only one new employee. Okay.
Very different than last time, Mayor.
Very different than last time, but that's okay.
Right.
Ron, next item?
Yes, sir. Next up, we have our Proclamation for Homeless Persons Remembrance Day. I believe Brian Planty, our Homeless Services Manager, will kick us off.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. Thank you for allowing me to be here tonight. Before we read the proclamation, I want to pause and draw attention to the people that embody this work every single day. Avondale is fortunate to have a team of outreach workers who are, in every sense of the word, superheroes. And they're sitting behind me tonight, wearing their sonar hats, easily identifiable. They don't wear capes, but they move through our streets day and night, and they turn over every stone and follow every lead. They exhaust every possible resource. When someone in our city has lost their home, has lost their connection to family, or even their sense of hope, these heroes step in and never give up. I've seen them track down cousins in other states, contact families across the country. They chase down birth certificates, military credentials, and piece together medical records, because those documents, those fragile threads of identity, can be the key that unlocks housing or health care. They serve as investigators, advocates, and at the same time as companions. They walk alongside people who have been forgotten or who can no longer find the strength to advocate for themselves. And in doing so, they remind us what dignity looks like. They inspire greatness not only in the people they serve, but in everyone who has the privilege of working beside them. I can tell you they inspire me every day. They are the heartbeat of a caring city, that backs up the promise to care for every neighbor with real action. As we honor the lives of those we have lost this year, I want to lift up our own Sonar team. These are the people who meet suffering with compassion. They meet despair with persistence and remind us that in their daily work, that remembrance must always lead to action. With that, I will turn it over to Mayor Pineda to read the Homeless Persons Remembrance Day Proclamation.
Thank you so much. And actually, Councilmember Condi will be reading the
Thank you, Mayor,
proclamation.
for asking me to read this. Thank you, Brian. Well, just before I begin to read the proclamation, I do want to say thank you because you guys really make an impact on the lives of many. Not only your team, but also our first responders that are out there, and just people in the community making, people aware if someone's in the park that these people are somebody's daughters, somebody's sons. So thank you for the work that you all do. And I'm honored to be able to read this proclamation today. Whereas Homeless Persons Remembrance Day is observed annually on December 21st, the first day of winter and the longest night of the year, to remember people who died while experiencing homelessness. And whereas every life has inherent dignity, and the City of Avondale affirms that the loss of any person to the dangers of homelessness is a loss to our whole community. And whereas the City of Avondale recognizes the tireless work of local partners, including Phoenix Rescue Mission and the city's Sonar outreach team, along with regional service providers, faith communities, healthcare organizations, and volunteers who serve people experiencing homelessness with compassion and skill. And whereas remembering those who have died while unhoused deepens our commitment to solutions that prevent homelessness, reduce its harms, and make episodes rare, brief, and non-occurring through coordinated street outreach, emergency shelter, supportive services, and housing. And whereas the city encourages residents to join community partners in appropriate remembrances, including moments of silence and the reading of names, and to support efforts that save lives and connect people to safe, stable housing. Whereas a community remembrance service will be held in Avondale at Avondale Baptist Church on December 21st, 2025, providing residents an opportunity to honor people who died while experiencing homelessness. Now, therefore, on behalf of the Avondale City Council, the City of Avondale, Arizona, hereby proclaims Homeless Persons Remembrance Day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Condi. Ron, next item, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. Up next, I'd like to pass over to Councilmember White to share a few words about the proclamation World AIDS Day.
Thank you so much, Mayor. Thank you so much, Mr. Corbin. As a young child in the 80s, I became aware of this mystery illness we know as that was HIV/AIDS, and since that time, I've wanted to learn more and make more people aware about it throughout my public service. And ironically, when I went to college, I became very interested in Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated because they did a lot of work in the community to continue to promote that awareness and make sure folks understood that it was something that not only was at that time thought to be transmitted sexually, but could be transmitted to women as they had children. And so today is International AIDS Awareness Day, and I wanted to make sure that we acknowledge that since we are in chamber today on December 1st. So I will go ahead and read that proclamation. Whereas World AIDS Day, observed annually on December 1st, unites people across the globe in shared commitment to end the HIV epidemic, honor the resilience of those living with HIV, and remember with compassion those who have lived lives and were lost to AIDS-related illness. And whereas since the first cases emerged more than 4 decades ago, HIV/AIDS has profoundly affected individuals, families, and communities nationwide and across the world, leaving a lasting social, emotional, and public health impact. Whereas remarkable progress in prevention, testing, treatment, education has transformed the landscape of HIV care, demonstrating that early diagnosis and sustained access to medical support empowered individuals living with HIV/AIDS to lead long, healthy, and fulfilling lives. And whereas continued advancement in public health, coupled with strong community partnerships and education efforts, are empowering individuals with the knowledge, resources, and support needed to prevent HIV transmission and improve overall health outcomes. And whereas the City of Avondale reaffirms its commitment to promoting health equity, compassion, and awareness, and encourages all residents to learn about HIV prevention, standing in solidarity with those living with HIV and working collectively to eliminate stigma in all forms. And now, therefore, on behalf of the Avondale City Council, the City of Avondale, Arizona, hereby proclaims December 1st, 2025 as World AIDS Day and encourages all residents to observe this day as a time for reflection, education, and a renewed commitment to ending the HIV epidemic through community collaboration, public health advocacy, and unwavering support for those affected. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilmember White. Next item are unscheduled public appearances.
Mr. Mayor, we have one more item.
Oh, sorry. After seeing everybody sitting in the seats over there, you would think I'd remember. I apologize. Item D.
No worries. Emily, our city clerk specialist, would like to recognize outgoing board and commission members.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and City Council. My name is Emily Soria, City Clerk Specialist within the City Clerk's Office. Tonight, we will be recognizing our outgoing board and commission members who have completed their terms, each having served at least one full term, totaling a minimum of 3 years of dedicated service to the City of Avondale. In 2025, we had 13 boards and commissions made up of 60 dedicated residents, filling more than 80 positions. Our residents serve as board and commission members, make a real difference in helping to shape the future of our community. While we have members who leave office for reasons such as moving outside city limits or scheduling conflicts, we also have a special group of members who leave not by choice, but because they have reached the end of their term. Tonight, we are here to recognize those individuals, including a few who have joined us in person. When I call your name, please come forward to the podium to receive your certificate of recognition and remain standing. After the presentation, we will invite City Council to join the group on the floor for a photo. Fabian Prado with the Neighborhood and Family Services Commission. Jan Graham with the Municipal Art Committee. Janet Beeson with the Parks, Recreation, and Libraries Advisory Board. Larry White with the Planning Commission. Linda Warren with Risk Management and Workers' Compensation Board. Stephanie Robinson with Corrections Officers Retirement Pension Board. And Stephanie Rodriguez with the Parks, Recreation, and Libraries Advisory Board. Thank you so much for your service to the City of Avondale. Your dedication and commitment to making lives better is appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Really quickly, if you don't mind, Larry or Dr. B, would you guys like to say any words? I mean, we're talking some heavy hitters here who participate in everything. So this is a big deal.
It has indeed been a privilege these past years to serve both the City of Avondale, the staff, and the council. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have really enjoyed my time with Parks and Recreation. I'll miss those meetings.
Well, thank you so much for both of you and all the time you've spent on our boards, and most often just all of the different events that you're at. Just, thank you so much for all of the support you provided the city. And I'd be happy if council would join. Oh, one more.
Well,
Oh, sorry, Jen.
I'm never at a loss
I
for
thought
words.
you were on that side. Jen, I'm so sorry.
So what I would like to say, not only have I enjoyed serving on the board, but I have such a passion for art. I've been on the art committee. I've served for 6 years. And it's not just about making our community beautiful, but these activities bring community together. And a book that I've mentioned to people, and even at the board meeting, is called Your Brain on Art, a New York Times bestseller by McKesson and Ross. And it's research-based, and they have found that just observing or creating an art moment for 45 minutes a month can increase your lifespan by up to 10 years. So what we're doing is good for ourselves and for others. So I really appreciate the opportunity to have served on the board. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jan. Sorry?
Thank you, Mayor,
Of course.
Vice Mayor, and Council. That concludes my presentation, and at this time, we welcome any comments from Council before we join for a group photo.
Are there any comments from council? If I can, real quick for Jan, apparently, at least according to a bumper sticker, they say that Earth without art is just So, all right. It's my bad form of a joke, everybody. All right. Let's go get a picture. And then also, if you, who am I inviting up for the picture? Oh, some Deltas, if you want to join us for a picture as well, after we take this picture, please feel free to come on up. Okay. Okay, item number 3, unscheduled public appearances. Julie, have we received any other requests to speak other than what we have here?
Thank you, Mayor. We received public comments from Laura Gonzalez and Kat M., and they were forwarded to you, and their full comments will be included in the minutes. We do have one speaker, Linda Yeager.
Okay, Linda.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Linda, and I am a resident of Avondale. I'm here because I'm deeply concerned about the recent allegations involving Councilmember Jeanette Garcia. The lawsuit describing kidnapping, false imprisonment, and sexual misconduct is serious, and it reflects poorly on our city. I understand that these are allegations, but the repeated headlines and controversies surrounding this council member continue to damage Avondale's reputation and erode public trust. As residents, we deserve leadership that upholds the highest standards. So I'm asking the council to take appropriate and transparent action of the accusations of Councilmember Garcia. Avondale should not be represented by someone linked to ongoing accusations of this magnitude. Protecting the integrity of the city must come first. Thank you.
Thank you. You have anything you want to respond? No? I just really quickly, and I know that this is something that has come across and many people are aware of, but just want to put this out there really quickly in regards to the council and what we can do about it. This is not an issue that's related to code of conduct. It's a civil issue between a council member and another citizen that will be handled and litigated accordingly. And so if there's any other comments in regards to us as a council, me as a mayor doing something to enforce any sort of discipline on a council member, this is not a code of conduct issue. It is going to be a matter that will be dealt with in a court, and we'll let the court determine the outcome of these allegations. And so I just wanted to make sure that I made that comment. Ron, is there anything else that I need to add? No?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. All righty. Well, with that, let's move forward with item number 5. Consent agenda. Sorry. Yes, item number 4, consent agenda. Are there any members, council members, who wish to have an item removed for separate consideration? Seeing none, we got a motion from Councilmember Weiss, a second from Councilmember White. If the rest of the council could please vote. Thank you. Item passes 7-0. Now we're moving on to item number 5. Ron?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. Up first, we have Mark Foote, our Recreation Manager, to present an update on the city's Park, Recreation, Library special events.
I pushed the wrong button. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. I don't know how to work a desk, apparently. I'm here to give, my name is Mark Foote, and I'm the Recreation Manager for Parks and Recreation, specifically overseeing special events and recreation. Here to give an update on our special events, fiscal year to date, as well as just a preview of what we have coming for next year. So we'll start back in July and do a quick recap. We made some significant changes to our Light Up the Sky event, which happened on July 4th. We changed the layout. We moved into the midway, and we opened up the barn area as an air-conditioned area. This event was very successful with just over 10,000 people in attendance for that day. And we had a 4-star rating for that event. Again, we talked about our new layout, air-conditioned barn space, as well as added cooling zones. And that feedback was very positive, so we'll be looking to expand some of those areas, change our layout a little bit more, as well as provide some additional food options for next year with the additional or with the changed layouts. Follow that in August with our Blank Canvas Summer Showcase. This is an opportunity for our young residents to show out their art skills and create something that represents them and Avondale. We had 213 participants this year with a 5-star rating. We had 135 canvases that were actually returned and we were able to display here at City Hall. And we did awards across 3 age groups. Again, very successful event. Feedback that we get from this event is always very, very positive. It's a free event for these kids to participate in. Our Barks and Treats event, which is our dog-based Halloween event, happens in October. This year we had 1.3 thousand people in attendance, and that's almost double what it was last year. We had significant increase as well from vendor participation and exhibitor participation, and a 4.85 star rating. Our cute dogs and costumes, we had 43 participate in the dog costume contest, which was a big hit. And this is a great partnership with our Brookfield community and the Alomar community there in South Avondale. But very, very popular event. We'll continue to expand and grow this event throughout the years and continue to do it there in the Alomar area. Our Billy Moore Days, I'm still tired from this event, but it happened October 16th through 19th. We had just over 27,000 people visit the Billy Moore area over the course of those 4 days for our carnival and our festival. That does not include the parade. The parade we count a little bit differently, but we had a survey rating of 4.85 stars for that event. A little bit lower than last year. Last year we had some social media impact from some outside social media that really boosted attendance, in addition to some feedback that the state fair was getting, and so we had a boost of numbers, and we came back to more historical norms for this event this last year. Our Billy Moore Days parade was another huge success. We had just over 2,000 people in attendance for this parade along Central and along Western. We had 41 parade entries and a 4.85 star rating as well on this event. And Janet, I don't know if she's still here. Janet was our Grand Marshal, and we appreciate everyone's attendance and participation in this historic event that helps us recognize the history and the culture that exists here in Avondale. Our Creepin' Candy Crawl, another event that saw record-breaking attendance. We had just under 5,000 people in attendance for our Creepin' Candy Crawl on October 30th, which is a change. It's been historically a Halloween night event, but this year, because of the day that it fell, we moved it a day earlier. That's almost a double of the participation that we had last year, and we came really close to running out of candy, but we had some backup that we had to go get. This event got a 4.8 star rating as well. We had 45 people participate in our costume contest. And again, we moved this from Halloween to the Thursday prior, which is our intention is to continue to do that as Halloween falls on a weekend. We'll continue to do it that Thursday before to facilitate staff at this event. Our Mercados and Melodies event. This is a new event that was created based off of feedback that was received during our master plan and our strategic planning. This happened on November 14th. It was our youth entrepreneur market. We had over 600 in attendance during this event with 43 youth entrepreneurs, exhibitors selling their goods and their homemade items to all the attendees. This was actually our second date. Our first date was supposed to be a Hispanic Heritage Market with a Hispanic Heritage theme happening in September. Unfortunately, it was that week that we got all of that rain and we got rained out of this event. So, but super successful. We have two more upcoming for this fiscal year. One that'll happen in January that is our back to the New Year fitness event, as well as our country night in March. Highlight our run series. We consolidated our run series this year. We have 4 runs that happen throughout the year. I won't talk a ton about them because Brittany will hit on them in the next presentation. But we had our Dunkin' Dash, which was our first Dunkin' Dash that took place at the Aquatic Center. This is a unique event, as it's a run and swim. So not quite a triathlon, not quite a run. It's somewhere in between. We had 68 participants for this first event. West Valley Vet Run, which is a partnership with Estrella Mountain Community College, and the proceeds for this event go to veteran services. There were over 250 participants in that run, and they raised over $40,000 for those veteran-based causes. So very, very successful partnership with the community college. We have a couple more runs that will be happening here soon. Avondale Dash will happen the weekend before Christmas. This will be the second year of this event, which was very, very successful last year. It's a 1K, 5K, 10K run that happens here in the morning. We turn on all the lights, we pop on our tree, and have just a really good time running and running off all those calories that you've earned all month long. And then Hoot and Hustle, which is a partnership with Agua Fria High School, will happen March 21st. A handful of upcoming signature events. This Saturday, we have our Avondale Winterfest. That will happen here at the Civic Center complex from 5 to 9 p.m. We'll be lighting our holiday tree, and all of the lights will be on throughout the holiday season. So a celebration of the holiday seasons. In February, late February, early March, we have our Tres Rios Nature Festival, and we're very excited that this is going to be headed back down to the Basin Meridian Wildlife Area. So the last 2 years, because of flood damage, we've been at the regional park, and this year we get to go back down into the Basin Meridian Wildlife Area. We walked to the site last week, and construction progress is going well, and we should be set for those dates. And then in April, we bring back our Kid Fest, which is our kid-related special event in celebration of Day of the Child, or Dia de los Niños. And that's a great event and a really large event that happens at Friendship Park. And then Saturday, May 2nd, we'll have Avondale Fiesta in Old Town, celebrating our Hispanic heritage and some of the great events out there. We have a handful of community events that will be happening before the end of the fiscal year as well. We have 2 more Mercados and Melodies events happening in January and March with Health and Wellness and Country. We have a movie in the park at DeConcini in February. Our extravaganza will happen at both Donny Hill and Mountain View Park right before Easter. And then we'll follow up the end of the year with our Memorial Day celebration and our Juneteenth event on June 19th. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for the presentation, Mark. Any questions, comments from council? Okay, Councilmember White.
Thank you so much for your presentation, Mark. I noticed that the 4th of July event, it got just 4 out of 5 stars and kind of trended lower than the other events. I guess we're having our 250-year celebration as a country next year. I was wondering, what are we planning to do differently? And do you know if we were able to partner with the state's planning commission for that event?
We have. The state committee reached out. We had a meeting with them, and we're talking through how we can integrate some of their celebrations into our own celebration, and what that looks like. Those are still in the early planning stages of how we incorporate their celebration into ours, but we are looking at some of those items. And then on the 4-star feedback, unfortunately this event, because of the way it happens, we just don't get a lot of feedback from this event. And so that's part of the reason but we do get some feedback, and we're trying to utilize those to improve the event. One of those being our food trucks. This year, moving it inside, we had many more people participating in our food vendors, and we just weren't prepared for the number of people that were going to be looking for food options within the raceway. And so we'll be adding some of those things, trying to add some more cooling, changing some layout and items with how popular it was to come in the raceway instead of just being out in the parking lot like we've been previously.
Do we have the ability for folks to come out and kind of like RV all day there. Is that open right now, or is it just open for the evening fireworks time?
Yeah, right now we just opened the parking lot at a certain time. I'm not off the top of my head, I don't remember what time that is, but we do open it. But we can look for sure into opening the lots early. It does require a little bit of security and some parking, but it's for sure something that we can look at.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay, Councilmember Condi.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mark. It's great to see all the exciting things happening in Avondale with the parks and recreation. I just want to say thank you so much for planning a movie in the park at DeConcini. You know, it's nice to have the movie nights in some of our smaller pocket parks where sometimes residents maybe can't get to Friendship Park. And I just want to share that when I was on council, when I first got on council, we had a movie night at a pocket park, one of our little parks, and the families that came out brought their blankets. They brought their kitchen chairs, and they were so thankful. And I can recall one mother telling me, because she had 4 kids, and she's like, I could not afford to take my kids to a movie theater. And she really was thankful that we were able to provide a good movie, you know, for the kids in the park. So thank you for having it at DeConcini, and I hope that we are able to provide a movie in other parks in Avondale too. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Councilmember White.
I noticed that we used to have a cool couple of cycle events that came through Avondale. Anything on the horizon, adding a cycle event? We have quite a few running events. Definitely now I like to see the fact that we have more swimming events, and I love all of the programming, but are we going to do any more biking?
This might be a question for Corey. I'll try and speak on it. Based off of the feedback we got during our master plan, that's not one of those things that ranked very high, and participation in that event previously was pretty low. And so the decision was made to reallocate those resources to events and items that were had much higher participation in them, but I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn.
No.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Councilmember White, great question. The Cycle Avondale event was not achieving its registration goals, so we weren't seeing the growth or the interest in participation. So it was an opportunity for us to possibly pivot and attract a different market or provide services for a different market of resident. As we develop our new trail system and with the success of our recent bond package, I think we'll develop a lot more linear trail and path system for us to take advantage of, which will reduce the cost of us hosting that style of event, because to really have a cycle event, you want to have substantial mileage, 20, 30, 50 miles for those cyclists to really enjoy. And to achieve that within our city without crossing I-10 was becoming very expensive to achieve for a small population of users. So something we can continue to explore as we expand that trail system, or if there's a desire to bring it back, we could look for alternative funding to do so.
I think one of the things I'll say just in regards to your comment there, Corey, is the appreciation that I have for trying things. And, sometimes they work and they take off and sometimes they don't, but not for the sake of not trying. But at the same token, in regards to, working with our residents' money, it's important that we are aware that if it's just not getting the traction that it deserves or that we would like, that we don't offer it just for the sake of offering. It's got to make financial sense as well. And so far, all of the events that we've offered, I believe, do that. And if they don't, we're not offering them anymore. But off Councilmember Condi's point, just being very mindful, and you have been, the department has been, of navigating the different parts of the city. Not concentrating an event in one area over the other, but really spreading it out, trying it out in pocket parks or smaller parks. And while it may not be Friendship, DeConcini is a park just as any others. And so the fact that your department is willing to try and navigate these challenges or wins, if you will, then I'm really happy that we're able to provide those to the residents, and especially if they make sense. So there's no other comments. Thank you so much for the presentation. Appreciate it. Ron, next item.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. Up next is Brittany, your Recreation Manager. She's going to give you an update on the Aquatic Center.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council members. My name is Brittany Sherminsky, and I'm one of our recreation managers for Parks, Recreation, and Libraries Department. And today I'm going to be discussing our 2025 aquatic season. Just a quick overview before we dive into some of those details. Some things to highlight now that we have 2 years worth of data. We're currently earning a 4.2 star review on Google. Our swim lesson ratings are 4.7 out of 5, which is up from 4.5 star from last year. We've increased significantly the number of swim lessons and program offerings at the Aquatic Center, and our room rentals and facility rentals have been so popular. They've been busy every weekend, and so we're looking at different ways to explore future opportunities. Beginning with our swim lessons, classes, and teams, we had an astounding number of participants this year, just over 2,300 participants. That includes the infant parent classes, our youth classes, adult classes, fitness programs that include things like our paddleboard yoga, river fitness, our recreational swim teams, and a new program of water polo this year. This is a huge accomplishment, not only for our team to go from 1,500 from last year, but to 2,300 from this year. But that's a huge opportunity for our residents to get an additional 800 participants into a swimming lesson program this year. We also had our fire medical department come out and teach adult CPR classes a couple times this summer as well, which was a great opportunity for some parents that were kind of hanging out while their students were in the swim lessons themselves. They actually took a CPR class. During our regular swim hours, we call that our resident rec swim, we saw over 58,000 swimmers at our facilities. This is about the same number as what it was last year. We saw just about 60,000 last year, so it's a tiny bit less. But I do want to point out that although our weather has been beautiful this September and October, we've gotten tons of rain, great for Arizona. Great weather outside doesn't always mean great weather at the pool. So we did see a little bit lower attendance in September and October than last year, but to be expected just due to that weather. And then a really cool offering that we do have is that we have the day passes that they can purchase in advance online. And we saw about 25% of our day passes being purchased in advance. The Aquatic Center is in a kind of unique situation in that the bulk of its main season runs over 2 fiscal years. So our main season opens to public in that April and then ends in October. So we kind of see the end of one fiscal year and the start of the other. So looking at data can be kind of funky sometimes. So I did want to show the last 2 years of data, but it is broken into 3 fiscal years. What we're seeing is roughly $300,000 worth of revenue from last summer and also from this past summer as well. If you look at fiscal year 2026, which just started this July, we're already at $129,000 towards our $205,000 for annual revenue that we're expecting. Some ways that we're hoping to continue to achieve this and also to increase those numbers is to look at increased rental opportunities. We know that our room rentals and our facility rentals are very, very popular, and so we're looking at potentially adding in some Ramada rentals throughout the facility as well for maybe some of those smaller parties to get more families an opportunity to have that shared party space at the facility. Some of the events that we hosted this year was our annual Wave Fest event. So it's our second annual. This is our kickoff event for each season. We typically start it in the morning with our fire department and also our police department and our lifeguard team. This is something that they do internal where they run a drill and they really get to see what that lifelike response is. And then our actual public event is with the Agua Fria Food and Clothing Bank, where we had participants bring items for donation. We worked with Avondale Toyota to help sponsor, and of course our council members as well, to greet our residents, serve food, and welcome everybody to the kickoff of summer. Dive-in movies were added into our events as well. They've been super popular. We were able to do 3 this past summer, and I think by the last one we were sold out on tickets on there. So very, very popular. We love having those, and we look forward to having more this next year. The Arizona Lifeguard Challenge is a challenge that unfortunately kind of paused when COVID started there, but we were able to revive it as of last year, and we were fortunate enough to host that event both last year 2024 and 2025, and we're looking at hosting that event this coming year. But it's an opportunity for all the different cities and towns to come together and have a lifeguard challenge and just get to see kind of what other cities are doing and to share that camaraderie for our lifeguards. One of the events Mark mentioned as well is our Dunkin' Dash. It was our first ever Dunkin' Dash. It was a swim and a run event. This event got lots of great feedback for being hosted at night. It's our first night run that we've ever done as well, so a cool opportunity there. And a fun fact about that one, we did receive a 4.9 star evaluation on that one, although it is a first event. That's great, we got 4.9, but 4.9 for anyone, we were super excited. So huge kudos to the team for that one. And then our last event I wanted to highlight was our Hispanic Heritage Splash Bash. We did host this one in the mid-October, and it was starting to get a little bit chilly, but we had tons of festive music, we had crafts, and our poolside loteria. We are looking at moving this one just a tiny bit earlier, just in case there's some weather that happens again, so that way we can get more people to enjoy that event. Because of our success of our Wave Fest program, we did submit to the Arizona Parks and Recreation Association, and we actually won an award, and our team was recognized at the annual APRA conference for the Outstanding Aquatic program. This is a really great opportunity for our team to be recognized for all their work and for you guys as well in being a part of that event. And it's our second year in a row of winning an award through APRA for the Aquatic Center. Last year, we were fortunate enough to win the Outstanding Facility Award as well. So we're really excited for the possibility of what maybe year 3 will bring us. Some community relationships we have is with Tolson Union High School District. They currently have their high school swim teams that practice with us. Last year they had 3 of their high school competitive teams practice, and they increased this year to 4. So we're excited to see the swim team kind of growing here in the West Valley. I mentioned APRA. Our Michael Phelps Foundation, I forgot to mention them earlier, sorry. They also help sponsor the Arizona Lifeguard Challenge as well, and they do host trainings here for their coaches and things like that on occasion. We have our water polo team, our Phoenix Water Polo. We're going to increase from 1 team just during a summer recreational season. Due to success, we're going to host one in the spring, summer, and fall next year. Desert Paddleboards was a new opportunity for a program that was added late in October, and it was for our sound bath. So we had live music, lots of calming sounds, and it was just a great opportunity to relax in the outdoors, kind of all the sunset was going down, and that's something we're looking forward to continuing next year. And then just a huge shout out to our food trucks. We did increase those from 4 participants last year to 7, so lots more opportunities to get local businesses in our centers and also residents to get more variation in their food choices. Some things I wanted to point out for our season growth was just from year 1, from year 2, was just that increase of swim lessons. Again, adding 800 extra participants is a huge accomplishment for the team. We also nearly doubled our swim team numbers, and this is our recreational swim team. So one of the programs that the Avondale Aquatic Center hosts is the Summer Recreational League. It's kind of like a Learn to Swim league. They're getting the introduction of the 4 competitive strokes and really preparing potentially even for high school swim or to come work for us as lifeguards, or maybe just regular endurance as well. But that team number also increased. We are starting an internal program for our lifeguards in order to help get them ready to apply for that lead lifeguard position. We have 2 years under our belt now, and we're hoping to always promote within Avondale if we can. We love outside people as well, but we want to make sure we're providing enough opportunity to get ready for those next steps. We are increasing, like I said, those pool booking options, some ramadas, and potentially some additional late night rentals during our night swim, since those are very popular. And then our programs that we're adding in for next year is that expansion of our water polo and the sound bath. And all of that would not be possible without our amazing team in green. We were a family of 64 this year, so quite a number of people in order to make it work. It took over 20,000 hours in order to make this possible, spread amongst all levels of our team, ranging from cashier to instructor to our lead lifeguards. They're just such a phenomenal team. They're so great to work with. I appreciate them every day and make it fun to come to work, that's for sure. And if you know anyone, make sure you let them know. Because we just started our recruitment actually this morning. Believe it or not, for 2026 recruitment, it did just open up today. We will be hosting interviews in the end of January for training in February and March for a grand opening in April. So it's a quick turnaround for us. We do hire as young as 15 years old for a couple of our positions, but most of them are 16 and above. But a great opportunity for some first jobs out there, and they work really, really well with your school schedule. Some upcoming events. We have our spring hours that are going to be kicking off in April. This includes our lap swim and also our weekend hours. So that'll be the April and May time where we're kind of doing that soft opening. Our annual Wave Fest, we're moving from the end of April more towards the beginning of April to give more opportunity to get more residents into that pool earlier before it gets too hot. We want to give more nice weather outside. And then on April 12th, we have the return of Pups Plunge. So bring your pup, hang out in the beachfront area, and we'll go ahead and have a great time. It was a super cute event if you're able to make it in 2024, and we're excited to bring it back this next year. Our summer hours will kick off Memorial Day weekend, so we're going to be switching from that weekend-only schedule to a 7-day-a-week schedule starting Memorial Day weekend. A lot of our guests are in school, but also so is our lifeguard team. So with more opportunity for them to be out and about, we have more opportunity for staff availability, and so we do switch from a weekend-only to that 7-day-a-week starting Memorial Day weekend. We're going to continue with dive-in movies this year. We have 2 that we're going to be hosting. I don't have the movie titles just yet, but I'm sure they'll be fun, and we'll get those started. Our Arizona Lifeguard Challenge coming up at the end of June. And then our Hispanic Heritage Splash Bash. We are, like I said, going to be moving just a little bit earlier during that Hispanic Heritage Month to make sure we accommodate for nice weather that day. And Mayor, that concludes my presentation. And if you have any questions, we'll take those now.
Thank you for the presentation, Brittany. We appreciate it. Any council members with questions or comments? Councilmember Condi?
Thank you, Mayor. I just have a comment. Our family absolutely loves going to the Aquatic Center. You know, we're one of the families that rent out, the room because it's just easier to have the kids there. And I love it. We have a pool at our home, but we're always outside having to watch the kids and making sure they're okay. This facility, I love it. The jackets are there, so they're for our little ones, put them right on. And so every time we're there, the lifeguards are so kind. They do such a great job. And I just want to thank you all for the work that you do. Every time we go, we've had a fantastic time. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember.
Other comments? I mean, what can I tell you? 58,000 visits, that's quite the number. I'm so proud and happy to see that many of our residents are utilizing the facility. And I know that they've been after one, at least they've communicated to us that they've wanted an aquatic center for quite some time. So the fact that we have one now just really helps out. And as you can see, it's very, very busy. And I am definitely not opposed to shameless plugs of hiring new lifeguards, especially as first jobs, or as you mentioned, it works really well with their school schedules. So if anybody knows anybody who is interested, make sure they contact Parks and Rec. But more importantly, it's just giving the residents an opportunity and just another diverse amenity to utilize. And with the new park coming across the way, the Civic Center Park, I hope that that'll be incorporated in one way or another as well. So I'm just all around happy with this amenity and just look forward to more and more usage. And while the numbers may have dipped in October for obvious reasons for weather, you can see that attendance has not really been the issue. And so if there's no other comments, Councilmember Weiss.
Yeah. Thank you, Brittany, for the presentation. One of the things that I just love is the fact that you guys did programming for parents while the kids were doing the swim lessons, and it was life-saving. And I also want to thank the fire and police for also working with you for the lifeguard training. I just think that's amazing. You're giving our residents what they deserve, safety, and I just appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
One last comment, and that is water polo. That's got to be really cool. I have to go out there and check this out at some point, but who would have thought that we'd be offering water polo in this part of the valley? But more importantly, that it's gaining some steam. So that's really good to hear.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you so much, Brittany. We appreciate the
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, summary of current events. We have, Councilmember Solorio.
Councilmember White and myself had the opportunity to be 2 weeks ago in Salt Lake City, Utah for the National League of Cities, which is just a wonderful conference that went over so many things. And I was in the running, as I had mentioned to a few of you guys. It feels like I've been in the running for the past 6 months on a position on a national level. So I did fortunately get in, and it is a huge thank you to current mayor, past mayor, and prior mayor for providing letters of recommendation. You get your state league's permission, and then I also had an amazing dual letter from Senator Mark Kelly and Senator Ruben Gallegos that went a huge way. Avondale has been part of National League for many, many years, but we haven't had representation on the board since 2013. So I am very excited for that position.
Very good. Any other council members? Updates? Okay, Councilmember Condi.
I don't have an update, but I do want to congratulate Councilmember White and Councilmember Solorio for your newly elected official positions at National Leagues of City. And thank you guys for your time and your dedication. I know you both have jobs and you guys have families, so to take the time to go fly out and represent Avondale, you guys both do it well, and I just want to thank you both personally and congratulate you.
Councilmember White.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you as well. Councilmember Condi, thank you so much. Councilmember Solorio, for your support. I did win re-election. I was the only person elected to a second term, and the National Council, the Black Council, local elected officials. So I was very proud to have won that election with 40% of the vote, and it's a pretty competitive role in the room. So I was very honored to do that, and I wanted to also thank Liz Barker for being our support person on site and also coordinating with myself and Councilmember Solorio to prepare our applications to submit to NLC. But I'm very proud to serve NBC Leo for a second term as their parliamentarian.
Well, I had the pleasure last week of joining, and I see Martina back there from Cash and Has Heart, serving Thanksgiving lunch at the Mercy House. My second year being able to participate, and I appreciate the invitation, but more importantly, just what they all do. A lot of it you can tell is truly from the heart. They're not huge organizations. They are still deeply rooted here in Avondale, and so the impact is definitely felt and much appreciated. Martina, thank you so much. And in addition, going and attending the Thanksgiving lunch at the Senior Center last week. I mean, if you want an ego boost, and I'm sure you're all aware that all you have to do is go to our Senior Center, and they just make you feel so welcome. They love to take pictures. I was watching them compete in a cornhole competition, and it's just so much fun. And thank you to the Rotary, Estrella Mountain Rotary, for participating and giving meals as well. It was just an overall great time. So Chris and staff, thank you for the hospitality, and more importantly, thank you for their service you provide to our seniors. It was a great time. I look forward to the next one. Any other council members? If not, okay. With time to spare, if we can get a motion to adjourn. We got a motion from Councilmember Solorio, a second from Councilmember White. Please vote. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Drive safe, and we will see you at the next meeting.